Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Glenn today was speaking from an advanced manual. And for the new folks in here and our benefit of our guests, once you get through the first 10 speeches, there are something like 15 to 20 different advanced manuals that focus on different aspects of public speaking. This particular one focuses on speaking humorously, and the speech assignment that Glenn was doing was the 5th assignment in that book called The Humorous Speech. And the objectives, really, of the speech is the speaker was to present a humorous speech. The primary purpose is to entertain. The secondary purpose is to make a point. The speech should be based on one theme or subject with all humorous stories and or jokes related to that subject. The humor should come from exaggeration. The speaker is to use body language and voice to enhance the speech. And then there are questions that I answered. Now, those of you that have known Glenn for a long time, as I have, know that he's not naturally a humorous kind of guy. He's a very intense guy like I am, and he's focused all the time. So trying to be funny is a little bit harder for people like that and myself than it is for other folks. But he did it. Excuse me. He truly was humorous up here with the stories that he told. Now, I happen to know that Glenn's birthday was February 29th, so it was very quick to me what he was up to. But how many of you knew by the time he got to, before he actually told us that he only had a birthday every 4 years? Raise your hand if you figured that out. Just those of us that knew it. The rest of you are probably thinking he was blowing smoke. Probably was doing a little bit of both. And in the first part of his speech, really he talked about when he was 1, when he was 3, and immediately I knew where he was going with it. And he did a chronological synopsis of his age and things that happened in his vein as he went along. And then he realized, I got to make a point out of this, because the speech says it's supposed to have a point. So I think the point really was the 3 lessons that he learned in the course of growing up to where he was now. And it was almost like a break in the speech, where the first part of the speech was a chronological history. The second part of the speech is, this is what I've learned out of life. So it was almost like 2 different speeches in that regard. One of the things the manual suggests is that voice and body language be particularly enhanced to help the speech. I didn't see a lot of that, Glenn, in the speech. I think you were positioned more or less in one area, and your voice was fairly uniform throughout. So those are a couple of areas that you can continue to work on. The one Toastmasters no-no is you said in conclusion twice, and we just conclude the speech and let it speak for itself. But what really impressed me about your speech is you really did loosen up here. I know you can be kind of tight sometimes, but you really loosened up in the talk that you gave and the jokes that you told. And I thank you for sharing your life with us. And I look forward to the next speech, Mr. Toastmaster.